I am totally and completely out of my mind. Look where I am. My last trip of the season. I actually came right back to the same campground I was in the last trip, Hancock Campground. This time I practically have the whole place to myself. And it's snowing. Yes, I'm camping in the snow. It's already 30 degrees out here, and it's only 4 o'clock. So it's going to be a cold night, and it's going to be a snowy night. So should be rather interesting to see how this plays out. But anyway, so we're here for 2 nights, and we'll see how it goes here. If I end up packing in early and heading home, but we'll see. It's going to be cold. I'm going to be pushing the limits of the heating and the insulation in my van and everything else, but let's see what happens. Alright, we got the heat going finally. Get things sealed up. Yeah, we had some problems with the, you can't see it in the camera anyway here, but so you can probably see down here on this side of it. Here we got some duct tape holding this panel up here because the panel kind of started falling down when I was driving. So that glue didn't work. Probably too cold for it. It was still soft when I looked at it underneath, so. Oh well, at least it's up there with the duct tape, and it's going to help keep the van a lot warmer because it needs every help it can get. As it is going to be cold tonight. So we got to get this place warmed up nice and toasty tonight. I have a feeling we're going to burn through a lot of propane before this trip is over. But anyway, oh, I can't wait till I get that furnace installed in here. So next year's adventures are going to be more interesting, but one step at a time here. Anyway, it's time to get some food going here. It's, what is it now? Come on, watch, wake up. 12:49. It's almost 5 o'clock here. We got to get some food going. I'm hungry, so I'm just going to make a couple of simple chicken sandwiches for dinner tonight with mayo on them. That's the plan. Quick and easy to make. And we're also going to try washing the dishes inside tonight, so that should be interesting too. See how that plays out, but we'll see. We have just enough oil for this dinner. Alright. That's fine. So it cools down enough I can put the oil back in the container there and bring it home. I'll dispose of it out in the trash here. Not bring it home. I don't need to bring it home. Alright, we need the chicken. Actually, turn the heat on next. Okay. Open the window a little bit more. Let some more cold air in here, but we need some better ventilation. At some point, we'll have that roof vent in here. That's also hopefully going to be a winter project. I installed the roof vent. Yeah, I probably should have put the roof vent in before I insulated the ceiling, but I wanted to get this insulation done. Oh, it's nice and warm up there, though, especially right over the heater. So it's working. No doubt about it. The insulation is working, so we'll see what happens. It's 29 degrees outside, and it's 71 in here. So it's actually warm enough here that I'm just in a t-shirt. Yes. With that little propane heater there, so working out well here. It's going to be even better when I've got the furnace installed and I don't have to keep a window cracked open and things like that. But alright, so for dinner there I had those chicken sandwiches. Sorry I didn't show the sandwiches. There was nothing exciting. There's a couple frozen chicken patties I picked up at Market Basket and that were breaded. I cooked them in the cast iron pan and made for a good dinner. Now it's time to wash dishes, but I kind of cheated a little bit there, and I used a paper plate and disposable utensils, so I didn't have too many dishes to wash, but I do have a spatula and the frying pan. So we're going to attempt to wash the dishes inside the van tonight, because, again, it's 29 degrees outside. I don't want to be out there. 29 degrees and 6 to 7 mile per hour winds. Yeah, it's going to feel pretty chilly. So we got to get some water. I'm going to heat it up on the stove here. And we're going to wash it in this bucket. Got the water bottle in here already. Yeah, why did I move that over there? There we go. That's what I'm doing here. Move this up here. Eventually I'm going to have a sink, which will make this a whole lot easier. You know, water, we're going to warm that up on the stove. Alright, one thing for certain, this bench is too high, the countertop here, or my stool is too short. But I need to make some adjustment in height here. This is just not the right height for this. But we'll get there. It'll be better when I have a sink embedded into the counter instead of the white bucket on top of it. But anyway, we get the water warmed up. The water's wet down the dishcloth. I've changed brands of soap. I'm now using 7th generation. Before, what I was doing, I was using Dawn for when I had places where I could dump the water into a drain system, and the camp suds type stuff for when I'm washing dishes at a campground. But I really wanted something more suited for washing dishes, but was environmentally friendly when I'm going to be in a place like this where I'm going to be dumping the dishwater out into the woods somewhere. So this stuff seems better. It just doesn't like the cold too much. The only problem with this stuff, it does not like the cold. And I had it tucked in a cold corner here. So I'm gonna have to put it in front of the heater for a little while here, let it warm up. But even though it's cold, it still works effectively. So there you go. We're going to have to go outside to dump the water out, though. So as I talked earlier, I had commented there that I would need to find a better height for this countertop here. So I'm building the kitchen cabinet out here. I need to get the height right. So there's two things that we need to figure out here. One, the top of the stove should be 24 inches from the ceiling. And right now, I can tell you it's not. Put the coffee maker out of the way here. Top of the stove is about 19 inches from the ceiling. So there's something to figure right there, that the stove needs to be lower. But the coffee maker that I put on there is also a determining factor. Because I measure my water that I'm going to put into the coffee pot, into the coffee maker, in the pot first. And then I take it and I pour it in here, like that. And as you can see, this is about just the right amount of space. When the coffee maker is up on top of the stove, where it's in its operating position, I can flip the cap open. But there's no way I'm pouring that water in there. There's just not enough room. So I always have to take the coffee maker off the stove when I make the coffee in the morning, flip it open, and then I can pour the water in. So as you can see, this is actually the ideal height. The top of the cooktop should be at the height of the current counter. That's what I need to figure out here. So, how do we go about doing that? I don't want to spend a fortune on a stove. Somebody gave me a full RV range. So it's got the oven and the 3-burner stovetop, and I don't know. So that range setup is kind of overkill for what I need. So I'm gonna do another project with that. I'm gonna turn it into a portable off-grid setup. So that can be moved out to longer term camping trips. So it will be small enough that I can just drop it in the inside here if I want to take it with me in the van. Or I could just bring it elsewhere and it'll be portable and available for future use. But right now, we're working on the countertop here, so Most of the time a single burner stove is sufficient for me, but for me to make this, the top of this, the height that I need, which is basically 24 inches. Because let's see, how tall is this counter to the top now? 23 inches. So really, yeah. The top of the stove needs to be the height of this table here. The stove itself is probably about 3 inches. 3 inches tall. So if I were to make this 3 inches shorter as is, that'd make the whole counter 26 inches. That might do it. Take a few inches off the height of the whole counter. That actually might be just the right height then for even when I'm sitting here, and then the stove can sit on here, the coffee maker up there. No problem. So, yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do. Or maybe I'll buy a small RV propane stove and just install it in the counter. That's another option. I can plumb it over to like one of those little 1-pound bottles and stick it behind the door back there. That might work too. That's an option. So we got some options. We got to think about how we actually want to do the stove and how high to do the counter. But we got to make the decision on the counter pretty soon because I want to get it built. So I know I want to put a sink right over here in this spot. A small sink with a little battery operated pump back there. I want my stove area over here. I'm going to have a slide out fridge that's going to come out across the entranceway here. Down there. A little storage space above the fridge area there for food and probably my silverware and that. And yeah, should be a really nice setup there. One of my water tanks will sit under the counter. At that point in time I'll be able to wash dishes in here and everything else. So I'll be much better equipped for these cold weather trips like this one. They're still saying it's going to get down into the low teens tonight, so we'll see. Right now it's still 28 degrees out there. And it's a nice 71 in here, so seems to be around 71 and holding with the heat running, so doesn't seem to get any warmer, so we'll see. But anyway, so alright, so I think we got this pretty well figured out what I want to do here. But yeah, we got to decide how high do we want to build this to. I want to buy one of those built-in stoves. We just want to keep using a single burner butane stove on top. If I do a built-in stove, I can actually build the counter up a little higher. Do I want it a little higher though? That's the question. What would be the ideal height for when I'm sitting here? And is this stool probably could be a little higher too. Come to think of it. What do we got here for height in the stool here? We're looking at 16 inches. So I came up to say about 18 inches. So if I can find a nice little stool about 18 inches high, that actually may not be so bad then, yeah. Bring this down just a hair, an inch or so here, bring the stool up a couple inches. That could work. Yeah, we got a little height we can go up a bit, so yeah, we're gonna work on trying to find a better stool. And we're going to work on lowering the counter a little bit. I'm going to have to look at what's out there for built-in stoves, I guess. See what will take up similar space to this and go right here. So that's going to be something I'll have to work on a bit tonight. So, alright. I'm getting pretty tired here. But it's not time for bed yet. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. But anyway, I guess this is where we're going to end today's video. And I know not a very exciting start to the night, but anyway, got some more planning here. You saw we're in kind of a winter landscape. We'll see a lot more of that in an upcoming video. And in the meantime, remember, slow down and enjoy life, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.